Uh, Good morning, everyone. So, as promised, I'm making a video uh, about defoliation because last couple of weeks I have seen a lot of questions like why do people prune their completely deleaf their adenium? What is the benefit? Does it make the cortex thicker, smaller? What is the exact purpose? Okay, and I've seen a lot of pictures of people just deleafing their seedlings or plants just to say that okay, it will get a bigger cortex, which actually is a myth. Okay, if you ask me, because plant need food. Okay, and if you deleaf the plants during the active growing season, which is uh, say summer, from anywhere from Feb to late June. Okay, so that's the active growing period in the north, because in the south we don't have much of a growth period, because it grows almost say 10 to 11 months of the year, apart from say just a mild winter. Probably for a 10-15 days it might get cold over here, but even plant doesn't go for dormancy. So that's the reason I thought of making a video today, all right, of deleafing the plants and why I do it. Okay, so there are two purposes. Okay, first is to make sure that the plant, okay, the branches, because everybody loves arabicum, uh, because they have multiple branches which are invariably results in better blooming in the future. Okay, and it has a very natural tree like bonsai look to it. Okay, so a few days ago, if you remember, I had posted a poll regarding who knows has the knowledge of bonsai, and very few people came up with say, most of them said they don't have a knowledge of making bonsais. Okay, so I got this knowledge when I actually wanted to make bonsais. I tried it for 6 months, and yeah, it was like growing a child. You have to take care of it every day, and sometimes I'm away. Every year I'm away from my plants for 15 to 20 days. So I thought, okay, I might lose the plant, so I just dropped the plan of making bonsais anymore. But that knowledge came very handy. Okay, because why I look at this plant here. Let's take an example of this plant. Okay, so I haven't defoliated or deleafed it since I repotted it in the month of say October, November. I actually probably repotted this plant. Actually share a video of this picture of this plant when I potted it, and it actually has tripled quadrupled its size since I planted it. Okay, so I'll share that later. So now you can see, I'll just give you a 360-degree view of this plant. Okay, because all the branches are not growing uniformly. Okay, some are big, some are small, and you can see that, right? So you can see that. So here I'll give you a top view as well of the plant. Okay, so you can see in between there are branches which actually are fighting for sun, because in bonsai you deleaf your plants so that the sunlight can reach the main stem and promote more branching, and the inner branches also will get some sunlight, because it's a fight for survival for the branches as well. Okay, so it would start elongating as well to get the maximum sunlight. And as you can see, these lower branches, okay, the difference in the nodes from the top branches, you can see the top branches difference in the nodes. I'll just, yeah, the difference in the leaf nodes is less when compared to ones in the bottom, because they're stretching out so that they can get sun, because all the canopy on top, okay, is preventing sunlight, so it's just growing in the way where the sunlight is the most, okay. And even in this case here, so here we'll just prune the adeniums. We're not going to deleaf it completely here, don't do that, because as I said, it's sorry so it's the active growing season, so we want the plant to grow, and but at the same time maintain a shape. So what we will do is we'll just deleaf the inner leaves, the big ones here, the inner leaves, so that it gets maximum sunlight. Okay, see, you can see here, I'll show you one more clip here. There are a lot of small branches which are stuck, right? Okay, so I'll just go ahead and deleaf the lower branches here, okay, the leaf I meant, sorry, not the branches, till here, okay. And I'll get back to you once it's done. Okay, so now I have trimmed off the lower leaves, and you can see how beautiful the plant looks now. It's become more beautiful, I would say. But as you can see, I haven't completely defoliated it. I've just made judicious, if you had to put it that way, judicious cuts so that sunlight can get through. I'll just give you a top view now. So each and every branches, if you can look, smaller ones, the small one, everything will get sunlight. Okay, so you can see from top down, none of the branches are in shade. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why defoliate now. Now I'll just give you a 360-degree view again. See. Wow, it's become beautiful now. Okay, so you can see this two branches. So earlier the leaves here would not allow sunlight to reach that part, and it would obstruct the growth of it. So now it has space to grow into this, so it will come into this part and it will come up, fill up this, okay. And yeah, you can see that. Probably have to trim this off a bit, because I'll trim this leaves as well, because as you can see it's blocking the sun, the direct sun for this leaf. So I'll just trim this off. Just give me a minute. Sorry for the video, because I don't have my wife with me, so I'm just doing it by holding it on my hand. So I'll just trim this off. Okay, so that's done. So you can see the look now. Again, now this branch has space to grow into this canopy, into this space here. Okay, all right. Okay, sorry. Okay, so all right, so this plant is set. Okay, so the important thing is now you directly don't put it into sunlight. Have it in shade for a day or two, okay, and don't water it for at least say 3-4 days when it's in the shade, okay, so that the wounds, like the wounds that we have made, let these fall over, okay, let it callus over, because we don't want water droplets to be dropping on these and causing stem rot or something like that. So let this sit in the shade for 3-4 days without watering, okay. and once these buds drop off, then yeah, you can move them to full sun. That's not a problem. Okay, so we'll put this subject aside, and I'll show you the next step, which is for judiciously cutting the seedlings. I'll show you that. Just give me a minute. Okay, so here one more. So like this is a seedling, roughly say about 4 5 months. It's a black Soko seedling which I repotted, say probably when the lockdown began, so probably a month, and you can see it's taking a good shape. It's, you might feel that it's growing evenly, but yeah, it is actually not growing evenly. You can see. Okay, I'll show you that now. Like in the previous bigger plant, okay, I'll give you a closer look. You can see some small branches growing from here inside. You can see this one, small branches, right? So sunlight will not reach these the leaves. Okay, so again, the right there what I did previously with the other plant. Okay, I'll just make way. So I'll not deleaf it completely, because as I said, it's the active growing season. So the only purpose here is to make sure that all the branches are getting sunlight, and the sunlight is reaching the main stem, so that way it will have a uniform growth. Okay, so it's like handcrafting a plant. So yeah, sometimes you might have seen online someone asking, wow, hell a lot of money for adenium, but this is the hard work, or I wouldn't say hard work, it's just like an artistic work that goes into making one. Okay, so you can see after cutting this, I'll just cut these dead leaves as well. Just okay. So after cutting this, you can see from the top that the branch is getting sunlight now, when compared to, yeah, you can see the obstruction that these two branch leaves are making. It's not allowing the other branch to get any sunlight, and probably it may not grow, or once it grows, it might grow like this with, wow, what do you say, difference in nodes, or the distance between nodes, and it make the plant look ugly. So I'll just trim this off and then get back to you and show you the end result as well. So yeah, I have trimmed off the leaves here, showed in the bright light sunlight here. So now you can see that the smaller branches will also get sunlight. I'll just, sorry for the quality of video, I apologize. It's just doing work with one hand. Okay, so now I'll give you a top view. And now you can see that yes, sunlight is penetrating the lower branches, no obstruction. So this guy also can grow freely now. Okay, so this is one of the reasons. Okay, so and this is during the growth period. Okay, now so some people do defoliate their plant before the rains, just to make sure that uh, it doesn't get fungus attack. Mostly they do it for the obesums. Okay, and actually that's true. You can defoliate your plant before the onset of the monsoon. Okay, just not for avoiding fungus, but at the same time, if you're aware, during the rainy season there is a lot of nitrogen in the air, even in the rain that falls on the leaves. So it actually elongates the stems, and you get unnatural growth, big long stems. So probably you can trim it off before the onset of the monsoon. Don't do it during the monsoon, because as I said, like sometimes you have the danger of getting stem rot if it doesn't callus over the wounds that you make with cuts. So try doing it before the monsoon, and after trimming it, and once it calloused over, just go ahead and apply fungicide, a foliar spray of fungicide to the plant, so that it stays safe from any stem rot during the monsoon there. Okay, these are the only two reasons. Okay, so there is uh, just don't go randomly cutting leaves every time when you see some growth, and just in expectation of say cortex growth, because actually when you defoliate your plant, it actually stops the photosynthesis. So if the plant doesn't get any food, so if it doesn't have any food, then where it's going to store the food there? Because here you find it stores the food and water that is required for the survival. So if there is no food, then obviously there is no cortex here, right? So make sure you balance it out. Okay, and if and don't go pruning the stems, don't do it for the arabicums, because if I prune the stem here, you get two different leaves, stems, which will look very unnatural. So don't do it for arabicums. Don't prune your stems. I'll cover that video about pruning the stems, not for arabicums, because obviously I don't prune my arabicums, so that will be completely for basums as well. Okay, so for arabicums, this is how you judiciously maintain them. Okay, just give them sunlight and it will grow equal. Just make sure that each and every branch gets sunlight. Okay, so if you have any questions, please comment. Sorry it's a long video, but anyways I thought of covering these up. So please comment, and yeah, if you want to follow me and you want to get regular updates, you can subscribe to my channel here, Adenium Helpline. Okay, and you can follow me on Facebook as well, and I'll put the link of my group in the description as well. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll look forward to answering your questions as well. Thank you.